Okay, you guys. So as you can see, I've got the lovely Ashley Walmer here with us. She's going to help take us through some tips, tricks, things. We obviously have a sip and sample in Jasper with Brittany Beck. Brittany Beck is coming and being our guest, and obviously some of you guys will be speaking as well. But we want to know, when to start inviting, how to invite, what's the best way to invite people. And so I'm just going to let her kind of take over and give us all of her tips and tricks.
Yeah, absolutely, you guys. And so I've got a couple things that I know Amelia kind of prepped me, obviously, with the topic of this. So we're going to address that. But I was telling her too, like, if you guys have specific questions about anything that I'm talking about, especially with this like small of a knit group, like feel free to pop it in the chat. I'll address it. Like we can kind of take this where you need it to go. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about the sweet spot because your guys' event is the first week in September, right? Like the 4th or the 6th, somewhere in there I'm remembering. Which is 2 weeks away, technically, right? Like two-ish weeks away. So here's the thing. Yes, you want to invite people, but I used to think about anything that's like 4 or 5 days beforehand as like a save the date. If you were to invite me to something that I'm not paying for, meaning if I have concert tickets, I can go ahead and you can invite me to a concert in 3 months. But even my dad tonight's like, hey, what are you doing on Saturday of Labor Day? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I may be out of town. I may not be. If I'm not, maybe remind me a couple days beforehand, right? That's honestly how most people work, especially as life just gets busy and people have kids and all the things. We don't like to overcommit unless it's something that's really exciting. So that's another tip is, and we're going to go back to that one. I'm actually going to make a note of that so I don't forget. Invite to use a person. Okay. So I would, at this point, you're reaching out to your closest friends and family, and you're saying something along the lines of, hey, do you have plans on insert date? Thursday, September 4th. That's it. Why? Because if they come back and they're like, yeah, we're going to see Luke Bryan that night, you're like, okay, they're not coming, right? If they're like, yeah, we're going to be out of town, like we're taking a long week's vacation, or yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, we've got my son's first baseball game, or I don't even know if baseball season. I hate baseball. So it's football season though, right? Okay, we'll go, we'll run with that. Yeah, it's my son's first opener of, high school football game. You're not going to then invite them to the event that you already know that they can't come to. They're going to immediately say, why? What's up though? Okay. So that's when you can plant the seed and say, hey, I'm having this incredible event. I've been wanting to tell you a little bit about Bravenly, but you're busy that night. No worries. Here's the thing. We need to sit down though. When in the next week or so could we go run over to Starbucks, meet at the McDonald's play area, insert whatever is normal for you, okay? And so if somebody can't come, you book a meeting. You book a one-on-one. You book something to that so it builds your business before the event, okay? Now, if you're like, "Hey, what are you doing on Thursday, September 4th?" and they're like, "I don't know. Why? What's up?" That's when you say, "Well, hey, I'm having a get together," or "Hey, I have XYZ and it's kind of a big deal. Like, I've been wanting to tell you a little bit about Bravenly, and this is a perfect opportunity. My friend from Florida, she's the number one earner of the whole dang company. Like, she's coming to town, and there's no better person for you to hear from than her. And here's the other thing that I was getting ready to say beforehand. People will put that on their calendar if it sounds fun. Okay. And so you need to make it more of an event, like a girls' night, like something that they're going to actually want to come to. And by using, I'm really glad Brittany's coming because that is the carrot and that is the thing that you can dangle in front of people to say that. Now, here's a tip for your closest friends and family. Okay. you guys have an opportunity to get them in front of Brittany. And maybe you've talked to them about Bravenly before or not, but with your closest friends and family, you can be a little bit more transparent, where you can say, "Hey, Billy," or you can say something along the lines of, like, "Hey, so here's the deal. Like, my mentor's actually coming to town. Don't make me look silly. Like, I've got to get butts in the seat. Like, leave your wallet at home." Okay. They're not leaving their wallet at home. They have to drive to your house, right? But it takes the pressure off of like your sister or your mother-in-law or whatever. And at the end of the day, you just need butts in the seats because once they get there and they listen and they hear it, they're going to have an open heart and open mind. Be praying about that, okay? Before they walk into that room, pray over your door, pray over your house. But at the end of the day, like once they get there, it's all good. They're fine. They're going to be engaged. They're going to be excited to learn about it. You just need to get them there. Okay. So for your closest friends and family, I would say you can use that little bit of like, "Hey, can you help me out? Can you do me a favor?" Right? Like that card a little bit and be like, "I just need butts in the seat. She's coming all the way here from Florida. She's kind of a big deal, like real big deal. And I don't want to let her down." Okay. If any of my friends said that to me, I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm not buying anything. I'm so not interested, but I'm not letting you look like an idiot in front of that girl." You know what I mean? Like I'm the girl that's the like the rider that the die. So go to your closest friends and family, and it's the perfect opportunity, you guys. If there's people in your life that you've been desperately wanting to do this business with you, but you're just too close to them, or you're like, "Well, they've seen me do this for 3 or 4 years. If they'd be interested, they'd ask." No, that's not how it works. But use this as the reason to get the butt in the seat. Okay. So that's the first thing I would say. I wouldn't start necessarily promoting this on social yet. It's more for like your team. Okay, I'm going to take that back. You can promote it on social with the understanding and the expectation that you're not thinking people are going to see it and want to come. Okay, because it's 2 weeks out. I love you guys, and I used to build 100% belly to belly, building exactly like this weekly events. But like I would never go to an event of my friends that I just saw on social media. I had to be asked. Okay. But there's social proof in the fact that you're having an event. And for your watchers and for people that maybe are looking and wondering and curious, it shows movement, it shows growth. People want to follow people that know where they're going. You're hosting an event, you look like a leader. So I would maybe you could start putting in your stories, you could start putting a post up. Just don't expect that you're going to get people to see that and comment, "Oh, send me the details. I want to come." Right. And so I'm really big on expectations. Okay. Because when you have your expectations in the wrong spot, they lead to disappointment. And so, just like I used to do vendor events, I would go to it and I'm like, if the worst thing that happens is I get time with my team, awesome. If I don't enroll anybody, I'm good. And then I would enroll one person. I'd be so excited, right? Because I didn't expect that to happen. So the next part of it is if you are going to post, if you are going to put it in your stories, just like we teach with posting isn't asking. Just because you posted it and you're like, "Yeah, 1,500 people saw it. None of them are coming," because you didn't ask them. People want to feel special. They want to feel seen. They want to feel like you want them there. Okay. And so what you could do is if you are doing it in like your stories or whatever, and I can give you an example, you guys, of like what I used to post about when I did these, and also when my enroller would come and do one at my house, I would really talk her up. I wouldn't talk the event up. I would talk her up and how big of a deal it was she was coming to my house. Why? It's that same concept that people want to follow people that know where they're going. And I was a top income earner, but I used her constantly because it was bigger than just me. You weren't just saying yes to me. You didn't just get me. You got her. She's built to the top of the company before. She's doing it again. You know what I mean? That's the part where people were like, "Oh, okay. So if I join, I'm getting her mentorship. I'm getting her like multi-millionaire experience." They might be your friend. Like I'll tell you, my sister's like, well, I don't really care what you have to say, but I want to come listen to that millionaire girl, right? And she came and she signed and she enrolled. And it's not because of me, it's because of the fact that I leaned into my leadership. Okay. So I would highly recommend doing that. And Amelia, I saw that. I can send you guys an example of like something I would send. And even I think I even did it in Bravenly when like Aspen came to Grand Rapids one time. Like I made a story sequence for like all the Grand Rapids girls for them to post talking up Aspen. And so that's something I can send you guys some examples of what that looks like. So doing that, knowing, oh, were you gonna say ask something, Amelia?
I was just gonna say, if you just send me like an example, I can just recreate it and then I'll give it to our team and then I'll send it to Holly for hers too. So
Love it. Love it. Yep, I can absolutely do that. So invite, okay, so let's start with social. Social, you can start posting about it now. Just do it with the expectation that you're not going to invite people that way. You're more doing it for social proof that your business is moving and growing and working. You can start inviting to the event now with a basic question of, hey, what do you have plans on Thursday, whatever the date is? Okay. If they are a no, meaning if they can't come, try to book a one on one with them. Here's the sweet spot, and this is where it's going to take your business to the next level. If they can come, and if they are saying that they can come, two things. First, try to meet with them beforehand. Okay. What if you can go sit down with them tomorrow or on Saturday morning at Starbucks and show them a little bit about Bravenly and they're interested? And now they use this as their launch event and they bring 3 or 4 people. That's the sweet spot, you guys. Okay. If you have 5 people that say yes to you and you're able to get them on the phone or meet with all 5 of them in the next 2 weeks, you could go vice president this month. Like that will grow your business so freaking fast. Okay. They can use that as their launch event. And then, bam, that's at the beginning of the month in September. They're now in, they just went director because they brought a couple of people who each had a few sales, and maybe they each bring 3 people that enroll as brand partners with those kits. And now you're going to go launch them. Okay. And then you guys, I'm not kidding. This snowballs exactly. It snowballs so fast. It is how I went from 0 to 6 figures in 6 months doing this concept right here. Okay. And so use that to build to the event. Don't just sit back and wait for the event to happen. Okay. Build to the event by seeing if any of these people can get together beforehand. Okay. The next thing I'll say is if they do say that they can come, understand and know that there's going to be 1,000 things between now and then that are going to come up and you need to keep on them. And what I mean by that is don't overwhelm them. If you reach out to them tomorrow, maybe in a week from now, put it on your calendar and be like, follow up with Holly. Be like, hey, Holly, I can't wait to see you in a week. I'm so excited. You're going to love Brittany. She's so awesome. We've got snacks, so bring some snacks or whatever. Bring your favorite bottle of wine, whatever you guys want to do, right? But you're just kind of reminding them about how it's going to be fun. Okay. And then usually the night before, the day before, the morning of, depending on the person. And I say that knowing that's where sometimes, I don't want to say common sense, but like where you read the room type of situations. You know your brother, he needs a last minute reminder. You know your best friend, she's going to need them the night before reminder. So within 24 hours of the event, you're like, hey, can't wait to see you tomorrow night or can't wait to see you tonight. Okay. And you're just expecting them to come by saying that, you guys, it puts healthy pressure on them because they've committed to it. So you're reminding them of their commitment. You're not saying, are you still planning on coming? You're not asking a question. Don't ask a question. Are you still planning on coming? Do I get to see you? Nope. You're just simply saying, can't wait to see you tonight, or can't wait to see you tomorrow night. Can't wait to see you tomorrow evening. Whenever you guys decide to reach out to that person. If something has come up, they'll let you know, right? They'll say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you reminded me. Oh my God, I did not even know when I said yes to this, but little Johnny's open house is coming up and that's that night and I can't come. Okay. That's where, again, you guys are building to the next event. No worries. When next week would you have time to meet up with me though? Because this is too much of a big deal. I don't want you missing out on this. Okay. So use every opportunity. Don't just be so focused on the event that you forget about the people that can't come, won't come, don't make their commitment and all that. And then, with that being said, use the event too, because I always used to tell my team, you cannot control how many people come. You just can't. You can do all these tips and you can implement everything that I'm saying, and you have zero control over how many people come. The only thing that you have control over is how many people you ask to come and how many people you follow up and remind to come. Okay. So let's say your sister is like, I'll be there. I'll be there. It's the morning of, and she's like, I'll be there. I'm bringing the hummus and the crackers or whatever. Okay. And on the way to your house, flat tire. Okay. It can happen, right? So it's just called life. No worries. After the event, the next day, you're going to take stock of all of the people that didn't show up, that said they were going to, and we're not making them feel bad. Okay. We're not like, you totally made me look like a silly fool. No, 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 no. Okay. You were so missed last night. But here's the thing, I don't want you to miss this. When this week could we get together? Okay. This is too big of a deal. You've got to look at what I've got my hands on right now. Okay. And so for me, anytime that like I did events or like a big event or would do something for my downline, I loved it because you reach out to 30, 50 people knowing that 5 to 10 come. Now you have 40 people to go follow up with and to go meet with after the event. And again, you guys, that's how this thing starts to roll and snowball is it just takes a life of its own. You just got to start somewhere. So I'm so glad and so proud of you guys that you're doing this because this is something that literally can breathe so much life into your guys' business. So, okay, let me ask you this. Holly, are you the only one that's like driving into town that you don't live there, right? Because you're in Florida, correct?
No, so I'm actually just sorry, me and all the bugs that you can probably hear in the background. Sorry.
You're good.
Um, so my local team, we're literally like an hour north of Amelia. So
Okay.
we're not far at
Okay.
all. So the quote unquote plan is to see who we can pack in our car and
Yeah,
just
drive.
drive on down. But I will
Okay.
also say, like me and some of my local ladies, are an hour north. We also have a few who are 30 minutes to an hour south, closer to
Oh,
like Metro Atlanta. So she's kind of like the
they're
Jasper's
the
kind
main.
of in the middle-ish. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Yep. Okay. I was gonna say sometimes if you guys, and this may not be a strategy that you can use right now, but I'm going to tell it to you for future events. So anytime that I did an event that was either out of town, out of area, or like if this doesn't turn into like a weekly thing for you guys and you're like, we're gonna do this monthly or we're gonna do this every other month or 3 months, one strategy that you guys can use is something called geotagging and it's on Instagram where you actually find and search for people to follow that are in that area. And I have a whole like scripting where like I used to go to Chicago like every 8 to 10 weeks. I had a team there. Okay. I didn't really know anybody there though. But leading up to that event, like 4 weeks out from the event, I was heavily following people in that area. And I would send them a message and I was like, hey, I don't know how we started following each other, but I see that you live in Lincoln Park area. I'm actually launching a business there. Do you know a lot of people? Do you live there? And I would just start a conversation with them, you guys. And eventually it would lead me to inviting them to the event and bringing people. And it was a way for me to um, enroll people that I didn't maybe wouldn't have been in contact with. So, anyways, it doesn't sound like that's probably a strategy, but I did just want to throw that out there. If you guys ever do events out of area or have a team, like Amelia, if you ever have somebody that's like, 4 or 5 hours away, a state away, and you enroll them, and maybe you're flying there to go launch them, you start following people that live there. You enroll them and you can place them with them. And now, when you're going there, you're helping two personally enrolled and so on and so forth. So it's a really awesome, kind of fun in person strategy using social media to build in person as well. So, okay, let's see. Ask the basic question, try to meet with them before the event Create the event that's fun, meaning you're going to invite to this fun thing that this multimillionaire is coming to town for, right? Create it to be something that they're going to want to come to. And then that's the other thing is lean into leadership, like lean into Brittany. And if you've never like I, I feel like people sometimes don't, it's not that they don't love their upline and know how to edify them, but they don't know how to edify them because they've never done it or you've been given the words. Okay. And so here's the thing, your prospects, you guys, they all, if you think they all want to do something like this, they're just scared. That's what I used to walk around and tell myself. Everybody wants to do this, they're just nervous. Okay. So my job is to not convince them. It's to be a friend and it's to be real with them and have a normal conversation. And it's for me to tell them that this is something that they can do as well. Okay. So I say that to you guys because people want to know that if they're scared, okay, think back to when you first started. You're nervous to risk the money. You're nervous you're not going to make the money back. You're nervous you're not going to make any money at all, right? You're nervous what your friends are going to say to you. Well, when you tell them that a multimillionaire that has built people over and over and over again to the top ranks of companies is personally mentoring you and your team, what that tells them is they're going to win. It helps their like fear level go, okay, I don't have to be so scared now. And how I used to use that, because even though my team would leverage me, because I was that to them, I taught them to leverage my enroller because she was a way bigger deal than even me. And so I would lean in. Her name was Cami. I'm just going to use this as an example because it'll fly off my tongue. And I'm going to say, I would say things like, here's the deal. She's built to the top of this company and she's doing it again. And she's doing it with our team. She has literally helped create over 100 EVPs. Okay. And this is something maybe check with Britt on like some of her like facts or stats or whatever. But I'm sure she probably has helped over 100 people go in the EVP level here or at her previous two companies. Okay. So through the years, she has helped over 100 people hit that rank that's like our executive vice president. And if she's helped them, she can help me and she can help you. Okay. And so there's a part in their brain where some of that fear of getting started, fear of am I going to have success starts to kind of go away when you lean into the leadership that you have and really talk up Brittany that she's going to be helping, she's mentoring this team, she will help mentor them. And if this is something that you want to do, not only do you get access to me and our team, but you get access to her. Okay. So those were some of the key words that I used that literally just got people butts and seats. They got people to come and meet Cami because I'm like, if I can just get them in the room, they're enrolling. Like they're not enrolling as a customer, they're enrolling as a brand partner, right? And that's the thing. Brittany will make it so simple that it is like my job when I used to present was to think to myself, I want everybody in the room at the very end of this to go, I would be stupid if I don't say yes to this, right? And that's what Brittany does. If you've never like been to a presentation that she's done, she's classic. So she will get your prospects to the point where they're like, why wouldn't we do this? And look at each other, like look at their husbands, be like, I don't know, let's just do it, right? So your job is just to get butts in the seats, but you got to lean into leadership. So how you get butts in the seats is doing some of these things that I'm explaining. So I know that was probably a lot. So what questions or things do you guys want to take me down where I can help answer anything that we either talked about or didn't talk about?
I do have a question. I know this is probably, is it overkill? Is it not to do like an actual Facebook event?
Okay.
What's your thoughts on?
So they're pointless. And I say that from the standpoint of the way that Facebook is now. Like you can invite anybody to Facebook events. I wouldn't be able to tell you the last time somebody sent me a Facebook invite because they go into this world of Facebook notifications. My sister, bless her heart, had my nephew's graduation party last year, did not send out invitations in the mail. She created a Facebook event. I had no idea. No idea. And that's when I went to Dallas last year for the ANMP. And she texted me a week beforehand and she's like, hey, can't wait to see you next week. And I was like, at what? And she's like, Megan's graduation party. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. What are you talking about? She's like, you didn't see the Facebook event I created? I'm like, no. Like, are you kidding me? So here's the thing, like the way that Facebook groups and Facebook note, like, have you ever tried to get somebody in a group and you're like, why aren't they in there? It's because they have to accept it. So that's how Facebook events are now. There's just so many of them and they get so bogged down and people don't usually pay attention to them. I could get into mine right now and I would be probably have 15 invitations from just this week alone. And so it's kind of noise. And that's why I said it's pointless because I don't feel like they work like they used to work. And it's going to give you that like traction. Now, what you could do and what I feel like might even be better is like a Facebook group chat. And for everybody that says yes, you put them in the chat and that's where you're sending like reminders, or you could do like a text group chat with like all the people that have said yes. And here's the thing, you got to give them a reason to be in it. And so I would maybe say something like, "Hey, for anybody that is a part of this or for anybody that comes, I'm going to put one of your guys' names in a drawing, blah 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 blah." You don't need to do that. I don't even know if I would do that, but it is something you could do if you wanted to invite everybody. But here's the thing that I feel about like group chats is there's no accountability in them. Even your team pages, right? If you ask a question, sometimes it's crickets because everybody else is waiting for somebody else to answer. And so like even when I built like our team calls were on like Sunday night, like our leadership calls, and I would go in there and I'd remind everybody. Well, then I had to have a text message that I would personally send out to every single person like, "Hey, reminder, team call starts in 13 minutes. See you on," or whatever. And every time people were like, "Oh my gosh, thank you. I was in the middle of cooking dinner. I'm going to stop right now and I'm going to watch." They would have forgotten. They didn't see the group chat. There's no accountability. Individual asking somebody and they have to tell you. So that's kind of how I feel on it. You can use them if you want to, but they just kind of to me are actually more work and aren't worth it. The risk reward, one-on-one communication is going to be better.
Okay. That's what I had that thought about the Facebook event because I mean, it's easy to just go through and invite your whole friends list, but are they going to see it? No. So,
No, and even if they see it, they're not going to come because you didn't ask them.
right.
So that's the other thing is you could, but then you have to follow it up with a personal invite of like, hey, I just feel like asking first and then maybe adding them into that event is better than even the other way around.
Right.
Um, and then the other thing is, I know that we always have these super flashy like images that have your guys' faces on them and ranks and all that. You guys, it's cute. It's more for our own egos if we're being very honest, right? It's more for our teams, okay? That way, like everybody on your team knows Brittany's coming because you have Brittany's face and her image, and everyone already knows she's Platinum EVP. But still, it's more for your teams. Your prospects, those images, they're like, who is that? And what's a director? Right?
Right.
So I used to create images and I'm going to see if I can find one. And if I can't like fast, I'll just, when I send you some of the images later as like a reminder or the stories that you wanted to see examples, I'll send you guys one of the ones that I used to create. And it
Right.
was just a cute picture of like a cocktail. And it said like girls' night, time, date, location. And I would text it and be like, save this pic. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. That looks so fun. Didn't have my picture on it. They didn't need to have my picture. They knew me, right? Like I
Right.
don't need my picture and my name on it. Okay. So I 100% understand why we do it for our teams to like advertise. Okay, I just found them. So this was, let me turn down my brightness. I just went to Pinterest, you guys, and I typed in like aesthetic cocktail pictures.
Yeah.
And this was one of the pictures I found.
Oh,
Let's
cute.
see. But then this was my invite. And I'll read what it says because I know you guys can't see it, but something super basic. Okay, it says, you're invited to join me for happy hour. This was specifically a happy hour type thing. I used to do meetings downtown Grand Rapids at like the time that people got off work because I was starting to realize that they weren't going to go all the way home and then come all the way back to my house. So once a month rotating instead of like Wednesday nights or Thursday nights at my house. One of those Thursdays, I'd go sit downtown at a coffee shop. So all of my friends that had corporate America people, we just went to happy hour and I
Yeah.
presented and all the things. So this was an example. You guys could change it to say, you're invited to join me for a sip and social. That's still super cute. Okay. And then the bottom just said Wednesday, October 17th, 5:30, J, and then the location and the address. So I would do something like this that is cute, trendy, pretty, eye-catching, adorable, and I'll send that over to you right now, actually, before I forget. Um, okay, give me 2 seconds. Okay. So I would make something like that. Yes, have your image that you guys probably already have with your pictures on it and with Brittany's picture for your team, especially. But then for prospects, like less is more, and a confused mind says no. And that's something I have to think about all the time is I'm like, why am I sending my prospect information that they don't know what it is? They don't know what ranks are. They don't know who these people are, right? So I don't want to overwhelm them or confuse their brain. I just want them to come to the thing, right? So that would be another tip too. But that's a good question about the Facebook events. Um, Another fun thing, and this may or may not be something you guys want to do. I just did one of these Zooms with Crystal Thurber's team last week, and they were all over the moon about it. So I was like, apparently I better say that again. I haven't taught that in years, but um, okay, I used to think I knew my like strong suit was closing people. That if I was sitting down with anybody, whether it was in person, online, like they were enrolling as a brand partner, that was just one of the things. And so I knew that for myself, but I knew if I could get in front of my people's people, I was going to help close them. Okay. And so part of that was the fact that like I wanted to get in front of their people as fast as possible. Okay. Because what if the person that I enrolled quits in a week? Okay. And so part of how I did that was at these sip and social events, I would say something like before we got started, I'd say, okay, does everybody have their cell phones with them? Like, show me. And everyone picks up their cell phone. Does everyone have Facebook? Okay. I want you guys to all go friend me right now. Okay. My name's Ashley Walmer. Go friend me. And we're going to play a game. Who wants to win a free product? Okay. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to your Facebook and you're going to write this post and you're going to tag me. And whoever has the most likes and comments at the end gets, and you hold up whatever, a sampler pack of all the sticks or whatever. Okay. So that did a couple of things. One, it got me into everybody else's networks. And now I started, and I would also then help them close their people, right? So let's say Johnny comes with Holly to this event and I meet Johnny, we talk that night. Well, then in a couple of days, I can message Johnny. Holly may go, Ash, message him, like I'm working on him, but he needs a little help. Okay, so I message Johnny and I'm like, hey, it was so good to meet you the other night. So are you going to do this with us or not? Right? It wasn't because I'm stealing him or taking him. No, Holly's enrolling him, but I'm helping Holly do that. Okay. So, one, that's the other thing. If Holly were to quit next week and Johnny reaches out to me in 6 months and says, hey, I can't get a hold of Holly. She fell off the face of the earth. She might be promoting another company, but I want to do Bravenly. Okay. So it did a couple of things. The other thing that it did is at the very end, you guys, that you would be surprised at how many maybe likes and comments that they had. That was social proof for them that their network was interested in this. So I had a girl say to me, I just don't feel like I would be good at this. I don't have very many friends and family. And she had like a combined total of like 17 likes and comments. And it was in a 45-minute period of time. Like we're not talking about hours or a day. It's the beginning of the event and the end of the event. And I was like, girl, you have 17 people that just liked and commented on that. You're doing this. And she's like, okay, yeah, you're right. And she enrolled that night. Okay. So if that is like a strategy or anything that it might not work for this one because it's Brittany coming in, but it is something that works really well at Sip and Socials. I can send you what I helped Crystal create for her team because she was like, "What was the post?" And I'm like, "It's embarrassing."
No,
It is.
I-
Um, it was when I was in It Works and they had the body wraps. Okay, so just know that. So almost every single person, we wrapped them beforehand. So it was like them trying the products beforehand. And then they had to sit with it on for 45 minutes. Perfect. Enough time for me to talk. Okay. And then we'd go in the wrap room and I'd unwrap them. So the post was, I'm wrapping, it's tingling. This is so crazy. Dot, dot, dot. This is so crazy. Something super vague. And their friends, I remember my brother came to an event and I made him put that post up. And at the end of it, somebody was like, "You're rapping? What does that mean? Like, did you start a label?" And I'm like, God. Like, or people were like, "You're rapping like Subway sandwiches?" Like it was just like something so generic that people would just start commenting. That's the goal. Is again, it's social proof for that person. Like, hey, you have an audience on social. Look at all these people that are commenting on your posts. You should do this with me. So anyways, if you're at all interested in that, I can get with Crystal on some of those posts I help her curate for those two.
That'd be awesome.
So what else? What other questions do you guys have?
Does anybody else have any questions? Do you have anything? Do you have any questions?
Not here.
I would say the last thing that I would tell you guys is at the event, when you do have people that come at the very end, like when Britt's done talking, you need to turn to them and you're going to make the ask right then of, wasn't that awesome? So, do you see yourself doing this with us? Okay. Those words right there are gold. Do you see yourself doing this with us? Know that you're going to get an objection probably. Very few people, I've had one girl in my entire career that was like, "Yep, where do I sign?" I was like, that was easy. Okay. Most people are like, "I don't know. I'm just so busy. I don't know." Like they're going to give you, and that's where you guys get to shine. Okay. That's where you guys do get to be like, "That's what I thought. I was so nervous to do this." So just remember to relate to those people a little bit in that moment. Um, and that's also too where like Amelia, if your team has guests right after Brittany's done talking, like you go to your guests, but then walk around to theirs. Like for introduce yourself at the beginning, okay? Be like, "Hey, how do you know Mandy?" That's the other thing too, is like sometimes we don't know that like awkward, like everybody's meeting each other. My go-to question that I used to ask is if Mandy walked in with a guest, I was like, "Hey, how are you? My name's Ashley. I'm so glad you guys are here. So how do you guys know each other?" And I would just ask that question and kind of get to know, like, okay, do they work together? Like, where's this stem from? Is this her childhood best friend? Like, is it her cousin? Where is it? And so then at the end, I would walk up to Mandy and her cousin and be like, "So what did you think? Wasn't that awesome? Do you see yourself doing this with Mandy and I? You'd be so good." And then just stop and let her talk or whatnot. And then Amelia can help you, Mandy, like close her in that. And Brittany's going to do the exact same thing. But that's the thing. Don't just say to yourself, like, as soon as Brittany's done talking, don't just be like, "Okay, well, if they're interested, they're going to tell me and they're going to know." Like, you've got to make the ask. And then here's the other thing, you guys. Don't let them go home without enrolling. Okay? Don't do it. Like if they're like, "I don't know, like this sounds so cool," be like, "Girl, okay, let's get you going right now. Grab your phone. You got the app. If you don't have the app, pay the $10 before the event and you can enroll them through the enroll brand partner button." Okay? Why? Because they are going to go home and they're going to talk to their sisters, brothers, cousins, uncle that got scammed by one of those things back in the 90s by Schwamway. And they're going to now not be excited about it. Okay. You want to get them in that moment. And so if they're like, "I don't know, this just, I feel like this sounds so fun and awesome." Okay. Another phrase that I used to use that was like a go-to type of thing is, "I know you're interested in some of those products. Okay. You could either spend money tonight or make money. Like, I want to help you let's go make $1,000 this month together." And that's when you're like, "Let's just get you in. Okay. I know you've got questions. I know you're nervous. I was too, but I can't help you until you do it." So here's the thing. And I would just grab my phone and I click the button and be like, "Okay, here you go." And I would just hand it to them and they just start filling it out. Okay. So that's the thing is then they're in, right? And they're excited. And then they leave that night and you're like, "Okay, let's put this post up. I'm going to call you tomorrow. We're going to walk through. I'm going to teach you how to do everything that you need, but we're going to launch your business too. This is going to be awesome. Okay. But don't let them leave without that. And you guys, if you've never done that, and maybe none of you ever have, and maybe I'm the only crazy person that has the audacity to just do that, but I did it and it just kept working. Okay. And so push through that little bit of like uncomfortable aspect. Growth and comfort do not coexist. So if you're tired of staying in the place that you are, the only way to move is to stretch yourself and to get out of your comfort zone. And so do something different. Okay. You will perfect it. I didn't nail it on the first time. It takes a little bit of confidence, it takes a little bit of posture, but you have to feel forward. You guys got to say it, you got to do it until you feel comfortable enough doing it. And so even if this is the first time where you're like, "Do you see yourself doing this with me?" And you're like, "Gosh, I feel like an idiot for saying that." Like it's okay. All right? You guys, it's 100% okay. So, any other last minute questions?
I don't have anything else. If no, does anyone else have anything? I really appreciate all of these tips.
Yes.
Really.
Good. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I was gonna say really quickly, and I know you said you would send this, but yes, the post and everything that you're talking about, that would be amazing. And I'm gonna try it this weekend. We have an event up here, so we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like sometimes it worked really well and other times it was sometimes a little bit of a flop. You might have a group that like if it's a bunch of like older women that aren't on Facebook, maybe you're not gonna try it. Okay? Maybe that's you're like, well, I was gonna hopefully do that tonight, but none of them have Facebook, so we're not doing that. You know what I mean? Like that's the like read the room situation. Um or you could tell them to like put a post up on their stories if it's a younger group that like wants to be on Instagram or something like that. So you can kind of pivot and shift. But yeah, let me know how it goes, Holly, because it was definitely something that worked very well from the standpoint of it helped the person go, I should do this. It was social proof for them, got them connected to me. Okay. That way, then I could help get them in after the event. And if their enroller or the person that invited them was gone in a day or two, I was then connected to that person and I built my business through it. So
I love that.
awesome. All
Mhm.
right, guys, you got this. I'm so excited for you. It sets my soul on fire because I love in-person events. They're like my favorite. And I think part of it is like I love people, but
Yeah.
I loved making money and I loved doing it faster. And building in person did it faster than social because you have to build relationships with them and it takes so much time. And so if you guys start doing these, like I would also like try to book another event even without Brittany, like Amelia, get another one on your calendar because when people enroll, like you're gonna want to have a place to send them to the next event.
Right.
And for all the people that can't come, be like, no worries, like you'll get the next one. The
That's right.
following, yeah, the following Thursday, come on over then. You know what I mean? So just start it.
Okay.
But I'm proud of you guys. I can't wait to hear how it was.
Thank you so much. Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Good.
Bye.
We'll see you later. Bye, everyone.